I think we now need to do all we can to restore that trust and help our fellow Australians.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Kelly did suggest in that letter last week that the Biosecurity Act should be activated.
Yeah, well, look, that's his advice. As I said, I haven't been involved in all of those discussions, and I'm not here to dispute his medical opinion or advice. I'm just saying that when you go to make serious decisions such as locking Australians out of their own country, a whole different range of perspectives should be brought to bear, not just purely the technical and medical ones.
Well, one of the Australians who's stranded at the moment in the Maldives, as a matter of fact, but it's the former opener, Michael Slater. He reckons the Prime Minister's got blood on his hands. But what do you make of those comments?
Oh, look, I can understand the emotional reaction people would have that find themselves in those circumstances. I don't agree with Michael's assessment here. We are having differences of opinion about judgments, about risk and consequences. I mean, it was put to me yesterday that is this an example of racism? And I definitely don't think that's the case. I understand why people have that reaction, but I suppose I coined a term that perhaps this is an example of perfectism. We're trying to make everything perfect here. We're trying to make our response to coronavirus perfect. And in doing so, we are losing sight of other important issues. And I fear here we're falling into the trap of making the perfect the enemy of the good. Our quarantine system's not perfect. No one's saying it is, but nothing will ever be perfect. And there are a wide range of things we have to do in life, apart from just focusing on one issue. And when you do sometimes just focus on one thing, you tend to drop the ball on other matters that are equally important.
The PM says this morning that those flights will more than likely resume on the 15th of May. I mean, you would be pleased with that, but he says it's not going to happen before then because the caseload at the moment is just too high.
Look, that's not the whole thing, the totality of what I saw from the Prime Minister's comments yesterday. I think it's a good thing the Prime Minister mentioned
this morning.
Under review constantly. He said it would be under review even before potentially the end of the 2-week period. Obviously, that will be dependent on data and information. So, look, I welcome that. From my perspective, I'd love to see the restrictions removed as soon as possible because I like to think that we'd help Australians out as soon as possible. But yes, this is a temporary measure. As I say, though, I was against it last week. I just don't. I mean, I don't like this precedent that we're locking Australians out of their own country. We've gone a long way from a year ago, Peter. There's a lot of water has travelled under the bridge. When a year ago, or just over a year ago, we sent planes to Wuhan to bring Australians back. And that was at a time when we probably feared more about the coronavirus. We didn't really know about it. We had no quarantine system established. Yet we did that then. And then now, we just put the walls up and say it's too hard. I don't like that trend, and I hope it stops and we go back to caring for other Australians and helping them out.
Okay, Senator, we're out of time. Appreciate your time as always, though. Have you had a good steak at Beef Week?
Get up here to Beef Week, Peter.
Have you had a good steak yet?
Mate, I reckon I had about 5 or 6 steaks last night. I had 3 functions last night and a 3-course steak meal at lunch. So,
okay.
But yeah, I'm going to test the hypothesis. Can you eat too much beef?
Yeah, no, your iron levels will be absolutely peaking. Fantastic. Good to see. Matt Canavan, good to have you with us as always. We'll talk to you soon.